Hey everybody, I'm Greg.
And I'm Katie. Welcome to the Meeple Society. Today we are continuing our top 100, starting with 60?
60.
60. Before we get started, of course, as normal, please like the video, subscribe to the channel if you like this type of content, and hit that bell icon if you want notification of any future content.
Or follow the link below to follow us on all of our social media.
Okay, so
60.
60. We're almost halfway there.
Almost.
I feel like we've been doing this list forever, but life is...
Because we have.
We had planned on having this out a long time ago. However, life just got in the way. Let's just leave it at that. Anyway, all right, so you want me to start as normal? Okay, good, because that's the way the video is set up. My number 60 is a very large, I don't know if I'd call it grandiose, but there's certainly a lot of options that it throws at you. This is all about adventure and fighting the monsters to find the treasures. No, nothing. This is Lost Ruins of Arnak. So Lost Ruins of Arnak is a very large, beautiful board, super colorful. It is a resource management where you are trying to gather the resources you need in order to move up the resource track. Actually, it's a research track. You're also fighting monsters and trying to explore the island in order to find the treasures that the monsters are hiding or guarding.
They're guardians, aren't they?
They're guardians, yes, actually, I think is what they technically are called. I think this one came back, and where was this last year? Actually, it was 23 last year, so it probably dropped. Yeah, I think last year it was 23 because of the expansion. We had just gotten through playing the most recent cooperative expansion, the big one that made it cooperative, and it was such an intriguing adventure. 6-game campaign, cooperative. We had a great time with it, and we haven't played it this year, so that's probably why it's dropped. But I definitely love this one, and I definitely want to get it back to the table. But yeah, that is my number 60, Lost Ruins of Arnak.
This might come up later.
Might, maybe. You never know.
So my number 60 was 76 last year.
Okay.
It's not quite grandiose. It's a deck builder, and it's all about going and fighting the guardians. This is Lost Ruins of Arnak.
It might come up later.
It did. Imagine
Wow.
that. So this is a crossover.
This is our first.
Is it our first crossover?
Well, it's not our first crossover. It's our first.
Oh.
And probably
Same
our
number.
only
Same number
direct
crossover.
crossover. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, just like you said. I mean, it's labeled as a deck builder.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of deck building.
I don't even think of this as a deck builder.
Yeah, because you don't. I mean.
You might buy 5 or 6 cards.
You might get some artifacts or some cards. Yeah, you're not building a big stack. I mean, you're staying because you want to keep it low so you can get the cards you really want to get out.
Exactly. You're very picky about what you buy.
But I think the only reason this is going up is because of the last cooperative game, because it's the only way I could win the game. And it is the only way I've ever won this game. You always seem to be able to get up the research track so quickly.
Well, and this is very heavy in the resource management.
Yes, and you're very good at resource management, and I'm really bad at resource management. But yeah, so this is my number 60, Lost Ruins of Arnak.
All right. My number 59 is, I don't think you could get much more opposite of the last game. This is a small tile laying game, and by tiles I mean acrylic tiles. It's an acrylic polyomino-ish game.
I don't know of any acrylic polyomino games that we have.
Well, we have locust, but I'm not counting that.
That's plastic. That's not acrylic.
True. This is Project L.
Oh. Yeah.
Like I said, it's polyomino-ish. I mean, they're there. And they are polyomino shapes.
You're building a polyomino.
You're building yeah. So, Project L is a small tile lane game where you are trying to fill out a puzzle with the limited shapes you have available to you. And the more puzzles you fill out, the more puzzles you're able to complete, the more shapes you'll have available to you. The trick is trying to get as many puzzles filled on your turn as you can, because that's what's going to win you the game. That's where you get your points. I've always really enjoyed this one. It's a really quick 20-minute game, 30-minute game. It's super easy to explain. I've played this with complete non-gamers before, and they got it. And she actually enjoyed it very much, in fact. So, but anyway, that is my number 59, Project L.
This didn't break the 300.
I'm sure it didn't.
This is just barely inside of 400. My number 59 is, how do you describe this game? Kind of like Star Trek gone bad.
Okay.
It's space theme. There's aliens attacking, and your ship's dead in the water. This is The Captain is Dead. We have had this game forever. We had the original GameCraft. We still do. We have the GameCrafters version of it before AEG picked it up. But we have always had fun with this. The expansions are a little different between the AEG version and the GameCrafter version.
Yes.
Because you don't get brand new boards with them. But yeah, it's all about...
expansions are just decks of cards.
Yeah, this game is all about your captain is dead, your ship is dead, and you're trying to get everything back up and running and escape the aliens before they can destroy your ship.
I would like to say it's before they board your ship, but no, they board your ship constantly.
Yeah. But the whole point is to keep the teleporter up so you can get from room to room a lot easier. Keep off the what do you call those?
The anomalies.
The anomalies. Keep them away.
Yep.
Keep them from hitting your ship. Keep your missile things going, and just trying to keeping your shields up just long enough to get the warp drive going,
the jump core,
and get out of there.
Yeah.
Which is harder than it seems.
I love this one because it plays 7-player.
Yes.
But I don't know if that makes it any easier.
No, because after everybody's turn, another card will come up.
Yes.
And it could be another ship attacking. And if your computer's down, you don't know what's coming.
No.
But if sensors are up, then you'll be able to see the next 3 cards.
We have won it at 7-player before.
Yeah.
But you and I were the only 2 experienced players in that game. Everybody else was just learning it that day. So, but yeah, this is a great one.
Yep. Really like this one.
I don't know if that's on my list or not.
What? That is my 59, The Captain is Dead.
I don't honestly know if it's on my list. So, I guess we'll find out when it shows up, if it shows up. Okay, I'll have to look to see where it is. My number 58 is one, admittedly, we've only gotten to play once. We don't even own it. I know,
Look around.
I feel like that's half the games in our collection, yes. But we don't even own this one. But we did get to play it recently. And I'm guessing it's this high up because we played it shortly before we started this list. So this one is all about maneuvering through adulthood. This is adulthood.
Oh, okay. Wow, yeah.
All right, this was released just this year. Our son and his wife own it. This was put out by.
Got it for him
yeah,
for Christmas.
we did get it for him for Christmas. So yeah, we did play it right before we started going through this list. So on each turn, you are essentially trying to figure out how to spend your time, your money, and your energy. Sounds like life. I mean, seriously. There are 4 options you have on your turn. You have 4 different things on your player board you can spend your time, money, or energy on in order to do various things. You can spend it on your career. You can spend it on leisure. You can spend it on increasing your community involvement, or you can spend it on wellness. You know, the 4 things that most of us spend our time, energy, and money on. honestly. Throughout the game, you're drafting more cards to improve your career instead of just being a student or working for minimum wage. You're going to go to school and you're going to get a better career. You could spend it to do volunteer work and get better cards to actually volunteer someplace instead of just, something generic. You can take a fitness class instead of just regular exercising at home or whatever it is. I don't remember what the actual card on the board is, but I thought it was a very interesting game. I liked the fact you're drafting cards throughout the game that allow you to upgrade stuff. It gives you different experiences, different life experiences. You can choose a partner. You can get married and buy a house and all this kind of stuff. It's all life events that happen. And I found it very interesting how they put all this together and made it fun.
Yeah.
So yeah, I really enjoyed this one. I'm looking forward to exploring this one a little bit more. So but anyway, that is my number 58, Adulthood.
So my number 58, that's what we're on, right? Yep, 58.
Yes.
This is a game that we've played it once. You did not like it. I don't think you'll ever play it again. So if I want to play it, I loved the game. I absolutely loved the game.
Okay.
So it's going to probably take Justin coming over and playing this game.
I think I know where this is going. I cannot remember the name of it though.
This is 11, the Football Manager board game. You are basically the owner of a soccer club or football club. And you are hiring the different positions for the board, basically. You're getting a PR manager and director of player operations and all that. And then you are trying to budget the money, because there's like a budget at the beginning, because you're playing cards for that. And then you can like upgrade your stadium. You can get sponsorships for the teams, which will give you new jerseys. You can go out and search out for new players, or you can sign older players to higher contracts. And it's basically like a week of soccer. And then at the end of the week, because there's always at the beginning of the game, you're going to see a scouting card as to what team you're playing and what they're good at. So you're trying to get your team set up to compete with that team. And then at the end of the week, you're playing this game. Now, you're not really playing it. You're setting your players up out there, and then the card shows where the other players' cards are. And then if one of their players gets through, they get a goal. If you get through one of the lanes, you get a goal. But you can play an entire season, and there's a tracker for each team that's playing as to where they're ranked in during the season. And you're basically playing for a championship. You did not like it because of the soccer play of the game.
I enjoyed the management side of it. Well, I shouldn't say I enjoyed it. I was okay with the management side of it. It made sense. The soccer part of it, no, forget it. Made no sense whatsoever.
You never coached. You didn't really go to many of Justin's games or Eric's games.
Right. Well, I when they were younger, I did.
Yeah.
And I did go to a couple high school games. But
I coached him since Justin was like 7 years old, all the way up till he was in high school. And then I've also helped him be an assistant coach for him when he started coaching.
Yeah.
And I've always loved doing that. And this game just reminds me a lot of trying to figure out where your players were to go, what players to pick up. Yeah. And then it gave me that business side, too, to try and make my team even better. So,
yeah, you need to get with Justin
like this
on this one. I did not care for it.
So that is 11, Football Manager, the board game.
Number 58.
They've seen that.
All right. My number 57 is probably the oldest dungeon crawl we own. I don't even know if I'd call it a dungeon crawl, but it feels like one. But this is all about fighting zombies.
I figured that.
This is Zombicide. Yeah. And we own a ton of Zombicide. I don't know, this has always been one of my favorite dungeon crawls. I love the simplicity of just chucking dice to see if you wiped out a whole horde of them. We've got a lot of it. We've got all of the original series. We even started delving into Black Plague. We got a couple games from Black Plague, and then we stopped. And then since then, we have picked up Invaders.
Yep, Invaders.
We've picked up Invaders in that expansion. So we've got a little bit of a lot, basically.
We don't have any of the new series.
We decided by that point that we
zombies
had enough.
Enough zombies.
We had enough. And we enjoy what we have. it's easy enough to take some of the new rules and apply them to what we have.
Yeah, didn't we do that the last time we played?
We did. So, and that worked fine. So I think we're good with that. But I don't know. I've always loved the dice chucking part of it. The searching and improving your character by getting enough kills in to get more skills, by finding the good weapons.
Making sure everybody's advancing.
Yes, the hard part is making sure everybody's advancing in a similar pace.
Yeah, so that somebody's not way down here in skill and we're
way up in
way up
already,
here getting red monsters or something.
Yeah, it makes it a little tough, but yeah, it's you've got to make sure that everybody is kind of sticking together, at least in the beginning, at least till everybody gets a couple extra actions. So yeah, no, I've always enjoyed this one. It's always been one of my favorites. I will.
Yeah, we first got this, we played this like crazy.
Oh, we played the heck out of
I
this.
think I seen Zombie Side was like my 441.
Oh my gosh.
Black Plague was 190 and Invaders was 160.
Wow.
So it didn't even make it.
I don't know where the other two were, but I know Black Plague did not. I prefer regular Zombie Side than Black Plague. But anyway, but yeah, that is my number 57, Zombie Side.
Okay, my number 57 was 146 last year.
Okay, I didn't look
And
at
I'm not exactly sure why it's jumped so high. Maybe because we've played it a little bit more. I think about the last time we'd only played it the one time.
Okay.
And now we've played it a couple times, and I've kind of gotten an idea of a strategy, basically, for the game.
Okay.
And this is Flamecraft.
Okay.
Flamecraft's all about your dragon, I guess.
Yeah.
You're going around getting resources to get cards, and it's all about
It's a
victory
dragon
points, yes.
visiting shops.
Yep.
And making those shops work for him.
I think part of it is I think I got over the fact that it's not a kid's game. It looks so much like a kid's game, but there is a lot of strategy in here as to when you take that dragon to go to certain places, which shop to visit now, which shop to visit later,
which shops are going to get you the most resources so that you can. I do not remember what they call the cards in the center that you can turn in resources.
Right, that's what I was just trying to remember.
I can't remember
but
what they're called.
It's been a little bit since we played this, though, but I
called.
think we actually played it a few times this year.
Yeah, we played it a few times this year. It's a good one. I do enjoy it.
So that is my 57, Flamecraft.
Okay, my number 56 is, I suspect will be higher on your list. I will be shocked if it's not. I think it was 52 last year. Yeah, for me it was 52 last year. So right there in the same ballpark. This is one that we first played at the Dice Tower Retreat. We had a chance to own for free. And somebody passed it up on the table. Foundations of Rome.
We have it.
We do now. It was not free.
It's called Space Station Phoenix.
Right. Anyway, Foundations of Rome is a very large, grand game. The box is the size of a cube. I'm not even sure that would fit in a cube. Well, yeah, it
fits in a cube.
It would. Right now it is not in a cube. It is on top of the cube. This reminds me a lot of Acquire. You are, in this one though, you're buying cards in order to lay claim to specific areas of the board, with the exception of a single module that allows you to buy or steal from other players. Once you've laid claim to a property spot on the board, nobody can take it from you. Like I said, with the one exception of that module. And then eventually you buy enough stuff that you can put a building down. The buildings give you various bonuses to your population or to your money, and you need the money in order to buy the cards, so you're trying to get both of those up. Population is ultimately what's going to win you the game. I love the look of this one. It feels there's a tactile presence to this one with those buildings.
Yeah, those buildings are they're ornate, I guess you'd say. They're very well sculpted.
They're very detailed, yes. I know it's been re-implemented as Foundations of Metropolis, which is a cardboard version, so much more approachable, much more available to everybody.
Yeah, we have not played that one. I'm not sure if there's any difference.
From my understanding, there's no difference in the gameplay. It's literally just the production.
Is it?
So I don't know
if anything kind of changed.
I don't know. I'd be curious to play it and see.
If there's streets or anything in there or something.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know.
So anyway, that is my number 56.
56, yeah.
56, Foundations of Rome.
My number 56 is one we've only played once, but I really, really enjoyed it and said we have to get this back to the table.
Okay.
You've said we need to get it back to the table.
Okay.
We have an expansion for it we have not played yet.
Well, that's a lot of games.
This is Ancient Knowledge.
Oh, yes.
This is really cool because you have a tableau of cards out that you're drafting. It's going to come with knowledge on the card, and you're going to get it in front of you. And your job is, once you get it down in front of you, it's going to give you powers, a certain different little extra actions or what have you.
Yeah.
But it's going to have knowledge on the cards, and your way is to make sure you get the knowledge off. Because if the card goes into decline, because it only has a certain amount of time.
And it will. There's no way around it.
There's only a certain amount of time before it'll go into decline because they're just going to be moving down your board. Then you'll lose that knowledge.
That knowledge is gone forever.
Yeah, and that lost knowledge now becomes negative points to you at the end of the game. Yeah. But like I said, we have the new expansion. I don't even remember what it's called now, but we have that still to play though. But I just love the way this worked because these cards, they're going to give you points during the game.
Yeah.
It could give you points at the end of the game. But you can't forget about these ones that you're drafting that has a lot of knowledge on it. Because, like I said, if it goes into decline and you still have knowledge on it, you lose the card, you lose the knowledge, you lose points. So.
Everything is going to go into decline. There's no way around it. Eventually, everything is forgotten. The question is, are you able to preserve any of it?
Right, yeah, because the whole thing of the game they're talking about is like you're wanting to get as much knowledge out of there, out of that one specific thing, that people centuries later will still know about it.
Yeah.
And still have information about
I
it.
love some of the cards. The cards, I mean, some of the stuff, and again, I'm not a history buff, but I feel like a lot of the cards, I knew what they were. And then there were a lot of cards I was like, really? Is this a thing? You know what I mean? Because it's not common knowledge. So, but I would be curious to research some of it and find out. I would assume with the theme, everything was true.
I know Justin used to be a big history buff. Wonder if he'd like this game.
Oh, I bet he would. We'll
have to get it out with him one time.
I think that's a good idea.
But that is number 56, Ancient Knowledge.
Good one. Okay, my number 55 was 49 last year, so it dropped just a hair. Probably because we haven't played it this year.
You don't like it anymore?
I don't like it anymore. Okay, I guess we're done then. Okay. Anyway, this one is a tile lane, but the tiles are little cards. You are trying to build paths between your camp, from one end of your camp to the other end of your camp. You're trying to build trails. This is Trailblazers. This is an interesting card game where throughout the game, you play the game in a few phases. And each phase you're getting a new camp, whether it be a hiking camp, a biking camp, or a kayaking camp. And you choose which one you're putting down. It's not random. You choose this. And there's a card draft involved where everybody has 8 cards they're looking at. And you pass the cards around until everybody has chosen 8 cards. Or is it 6 and you discard the last 2? I don't remember now. But either way, you're choosing 2 cards at a time, and you're putting those cards down onto your paths and trying to fulfill goals, because there are path goals that everybody's trying to attain. The first person to do it gets extra points. That might be have 3 paths going in and out of the same camp, or have one path that loops around the other 2 camps, or something like that. It could be any number of different options. But it sounds really easy, and you can overlap the cards even, because they're just cards. There's not like they're tiles.
But it'll change the path that was going the other way.
But it changes multiple paths when you do that, so you have to be very careful with that. I love the challenge of this one. I don't know if I've ever won it.
We haven't gotten this played in a while. Maybe we'll have to dig this one back out.
I really like this one.
I do like, but
anyway.
how you're trying to get it to go back to the base camp. And
You're trying to loop it around. And there's 3 different color paths on every card.
Yeah.
2 on some, but most of them have between 2 and 3 path colors. So you can build on the same path, different paths at the same time. Maybe. Because they don't always work. Yeah, I love this one. I love the challenge.
You can pick up the animals along the trail.
That's one of the
that's
modules.
one of the modules.
That you can spot animals, and you put the animal cards down. But once you put an animal on the card, you can no longer overlay that card.
Right.
That card is set. You cannot change it. But you get extra points for the number of different animals you see along this walk, or along your kayaking route, or whatever. So yeah, I love this one. But anyway, that is my number 55, Trailblazers.
My number 55 was 59 last year.
Oh,
and I think it went up because we actually got a gameplay of it this year with Justin.
Okay.
This is a big, heavy game. It is a Lacerda.
Oh.
And it's Lisboa.
Okay. Did Justin play Lisboa with us?
Yes, he did.
He played on Mars with us.
He played Lisboa with us.
Did he?
Too.
Okay. I didn't remember if he played Lisboa with us.
Yep.
Okay.
It was Lacerda, so he came over.
Okay.
And I think Jackie was out of town or something.
Probably.
But anyway, this is all about rebuilding Lisbon in the 1600s, I want to say. She'll put it down here. Anyway, but it's after the earthquake and fire in the city and everything, and we're rebuilding the market area. You're going in up in front of the, it's not the king, or who is it? There's like 3 guys over here. Well, good, very good description. But anyway, there's 3 people you go and visit, and that's where you're getting some of your actions at. You're shipping things out. You're using the market. You're buying market stalls to be able to sell things. I mean, it's really interesting. There's so much going on in this board, and it's really heavy and meaty, and that's the kind of games we've really have been into. But I have noticed we haven't played as many big, heavy, meaty games like that in a while.
We have not, because they have not come up in rotation.
Right. We have them. They're coming.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, I really like this one. This was like one of our first Lacerdas we ever got.
It was.
So, yeah, like I said, this is all about the devastation in Lisbon back in, like we think, the 1600s, whatever date it was she put down here. But, yeah, that is Lisboa, my number 55.
Okay. My number 54 was 115 last year. I think it went up because we have gotten a couple plays of it in this past year. And I think I'm finally starting to figure it out, or at least figure out a strategy to it. This will be higher on your list. Oh, great. It will be in the top 10 of yours.
Here goes my wins of this game now, probably. Let's see, what is it?
This is Dinogenics.
Oh. Okay.
Anyway.
I'm not sure if that made it or not.
Oh, whatever. It's going to be in this top 10.
I don't like it anymore.
Anyway, Dinogenics is all about building out a dinosaur park. With this one, you are using cards for DNA. In order to build out the dinosaurs, you need so many similar cards, depending on what the card says you need, in order to gather the DNA for a specific dinosaur. And then once you've done that, you put the dinosaurs into your park. Unfortunately, you have to have a pen fenced off in order to hold the dinosaurs. Each one has a specific type of enclosure they need. Some of them need actual tiles you have to buy and put into your park. Others just need to be fenced off. Others don't want to be fenced off. Mm-hmm. They will rampage if you do fence them off. So, i.e. the Brontosaurus. I think that's about the only one, really.
Yeah,
the rest of them you have to fence off. Mm-hmm. But meanwhile, you're also buying hotels so your visitors have some place to stay. You're having to make sure that you have food or a way to feed the dinosaurs, especially the ones that require meat, because otherwise they get angry and they rampage and they damage things. It's just an interesting game. Like I said, this is ultimately a worker placement. You've got so many workers throughout the game. You gain 1 extra during the game, but you're placing out your workers to do various things, to go buy hotels and to buy or upgrades for your park, or to get fences, or to go get DNA from the graveyard, or from the boneyard, they call it, or from the market itself, maybe sell to the market. There's a lot going on in this one, but I guess I'm enjoying it more than I did last year.
Apparently so. What was it even on your list last year?
Yes, it was 115 last year.
Oh boy.
It's now 54.
Okay.
Next year it's going to be in my top 10. I will have beaten it in that a couple
Well,
times.
maybe then we'll have the new expansion for it.
We might.
And actually
might.
all the expansions, because we don't even have any of the
No,
expansions.
we do not.
Finally got to play both expansions now. The Control Chaos and then the newest expansion. We got to play a
we
demo
got
copy
a demo
of that.
copy of that one. We got to play into that one, yeah. So anyway, that's my number 54, Dinogenics.
My number 54 is all about animals.
We have a lot of those.
This was 56 last year. It's 54 this year, so it's kind of stayed in there.
Yeah.
We actually got to meet the designer of this game last year
Okay.
at Geek Way to the West.
Okay. It's only one. I think we only met one designer there.
Yes. No, we met two.
Did we?
Yeah, we met Jimmy Stegmeyer too.
Oh.
But this is Endangered. This is all about trying to save the animals
Very
of
endangered.
of the scenario that you're playing.
Yeah,
Because
right.
there is a lot of expansions with this. I mean, there's
Yes.
the latest one was Red Foxes or Red Wolves or something like that.
American Red Wolf.
American Red Wolf. That was the one that the designer was there to
Teach us.
teach
yeah.
us and was willing to sell his copy to us so that we'd have it. Really nice guy. I wish I could remember his name now. But anyway,
Don't remember.
you'll put it down here.
I will show the picture.
Yep. Anyway, you have a character persona, I guess you would say, where some are actors, some are TV anchors, some are just activists and stuff, and you are on the board. You're trying to get the animals together or apart just so they can breed
Right.
and get them away from the danger, clearing the board. But how you're playing is this is a dice rolling game, and you have your dice, and you're going to put them out on actions that are already pre-printed on the board. But you could go to an action that allow you to play one of your cards out of your hand, which now will become an action that everybody can.
Right.
Thing is, when you put it down there, say like, I need to go here, I need to get some money so I can get some other stuff, I'm going to put a 6 there. Well, now nobody else can go there until after my turn when I come back and I
Yeah.
collect my dice. So you got to be aware of what dice you're putting in there
Yeah.
so other people can also go there and use the action.
It is cooperative after
Yes.
all.
But you're trying to win the game. You're trying to get a certain amount of delegates from all over the world to okay what you're trying to do. It's interesting on when you get cards out, where do you go? So you're all discussing, knowing it's like, okay, well, I could really go here because I really need to go here to get this and everything. If you cannot put a high number down there, I would appreciate it because you can see the number everybody has.
Yeah, you can see what everybody's dice
So it's
are.
like going, if I can get down there, that would be really great.
Well, and it's nice because, granted, you don't know what your dice are going to be because you won't pick them up until your
Right.
turn starts.
Right.
But everybody can talk about what's best. So that's nice. I like that.
Yep. But yeah, so this is, like I said, there's so many different expansions to this.
We've
There's
probably got 10 or 11
penguins
different.
and pandas
Yeah.
and just all sorts of them.
Yeah, I think we've got, like I said, 10 or 11, maybe even more than that, crammed into that box.
Yep.
There's a lot.
And there's a big box too. No, they did come out with a big box, and the reason why, you remember? He told us why.
Yes.
Because Endangered, it's all about
It's saving the environment.
saving the environment, and he feels like to make a bigger box to hold everything in is killing more trees,
It's
which
a
is
waste of-
ruining
yeah.
the environment. That's why there's no big box for Endangered.
Yes.
So if you can come up with another storage solution, go for it, because the box isn't getting any bigger.
Nope. Doesn't look like it.
So that's my number 54, Endangered.
Okay. My number 53 is a card game. It's played on a cloth board. That will probably give it away right there. This is a 2-player game only called Mandala. I really enjoy this one. This one was $39 last year. With Mandala, everybody has a hand of cards, and you are trying to gain control over one of 2 mandalas on the table. You can play cards all of the same color into either the center of onto the mountain in the center of each of the 2 mandalas, or into the fields on your side of the mandala. And then once all 7 colors are present in a specific mandala, that one breaks. And then the cards that are in the field all get discarded. All those do is determine who gets first pick. That's it. It's whoever has the most colors in their field. At that point, whoever has the most colors gets first pick out of all the colors in the on the mountain, and then you take all of that one color, whichever one you want. Now the trick is that to score these, number one, in order to trigger the end of the game, one person has to have all 6 colors available in their stream. The stream gets the first card of any one color that you get, and then everything else goes into your cup. You can look through your cup, but your opponents are never going to see what's in there again until the end of the game. At the end of the game, once somebody has filled up all 6 colors in their stream, then everybody flips over their cup and you start scoring. That very first card that you grabbed, that's going to give you 1 point per every card that's in your cup. The second one's going to give you 2 points. The third one's going to give you 3, all the way down to the last one you picked up to basically trigger the end of the game. That one's going to give you 6. So you want to get a whole bunch of these, but it's the last card that's getting grabbed before the end of the game. So you're not going to get a whole bunch of these because as you're grabbing cards, the first one you take of any one color has to go into the field or into the stream. So you can't just arbitrarily start putting stuff into your cup. I like this one. It's just such a simple card game, but yet there's a lot of strategy to it. But yeah, that is my number 53. Where are we? 53.
This one I think was in the 140s.
Was it? I like this one. It was one of the first 2-player only games we bought that we both really enjoyed at the time. So I still very much do enjoy this one. But anyway, yeah, that is my number 53, Mandala.
Okay. My number 53 is new to the list.
Okay.
And this is all about hiking trails.
Okay.
This is Trailblazers, but not your Trailblazers.
Oh,
this is John Muir Trail.
Okay.
This
That's not confusing at all.
Yeah, this is all about nothing about making the trail.
Nope.
The trail's already on the board.
I mean, it's,
and
it's a pretty famous trail.
You're hiking from Yellowstone or Yosemite or something like that, all the way down to, I can't remember, something Portal or something like that. Whitney Portal, I think it is. Every day, a new weather card's going to come out, and it's going to tell you, hey, you can't spend this, or if you do this, it's going to take you extra water. And that's going to affect how you're hiking for the day, because you're trying to get resources out, you're trying to get cards for set collecting out for points, but the whole goal is to get down this trail from Yosemite, I think it's Yosemite.
From point A to point B.
To point B. There you go. And plus be the first one there to get the most points, though. It is a resource management, but I don't mind those types of resource management.
Yeah, it's an interesting one.
That you're going to need pretty much whatever you get, you're going to probably need it that round. So it's not a lot of resource management, it's just making sure you have it. So I guess that would be the management.
The big thing is just making sure you have water.
Yeah, keep the water going.
Have to have every round.
And the fire or the wood or whatever, there was another thing that could...
You had to have it every round.
Yeah.
I want to say you're right, it was wood. I don't remember what it was now.
But yeah, but it's a really cool game. I mean, you can kind of say it's like, oh, they hiked already. To keep up, I'm going to have to hike, so I'm going to have to make sure I get the resources I need, because each area had to have a certain resource, certain amount of resources to get to that point.
And I liked the fact that every player had their little flip book. So everybody's flip books were different.
Yeah.
And that gave you, again, what resources you personally needed for that day.
And there's times you could hike twice in a day. It just depended on what you had.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some days where it was rain and there was no hiking at all because of the rain. You could not hike, or it was really sunny and hot,
those days
and you might not have enough water to get to the next section, so you couldn't hike that day.
Yeah.
But it plays in, I think, 12 rounds, and there's 10 spaces that you got to get to. So it's 10 different base camps that you're getting to. So there's 2 days that you could go without hiking.
Right.
But do you? Because it's a race to get down there to the Whitney Portal. Whitney Portal. Say that real fast, okay?
Okay.
But anyway, but I do like this one. I do also like the new one that just came out, but
The
that
Arizona
did not
Trail.
make the list because I think we got it after we started
I think we
it.
did, and even so, I feel like that one was a lot more intense.
It's so much different.
And it is that one's going to require a lot of exploring before it
Yep.
makes my list, I'm afraid.
So that is my 53, Trailblazers, the John Muir Trail.
Okay. All right, my 52 is new to the list. We got to play it for the first time at the Dice Tower Retreat, have since picked up our own copy. Although our copy says we haven't played it yet, but I swear I remember playing it. But doesn't matter. It's still a great game. I think this will only climb with more plays. I hope anyway, because it's a good one. This is Terminus. I thoroughly enjoy this one. This one is all about building out train routes. Every player has their own color train routes, and you are trying to build out train routes that can intersect with your opponents, but cannot run alongside your opponents.
It's like an elevated subway, isn't it?
Something like that, yeah, I think so. But as you're going, you are also you're putting buildings in as well, and you're building out city blocks, essentially, based on how close they are to your trains. And it was very interesting. I need to play this one some more. I feel like I have a lot more figuring out to do on this one. I know that very first game, I made a fatal error in the very last round.
Guy.
I did. I lost to Matt. I made a fatal error in the very last round, and he capitalized on it. And as soon as I did it, and I'm not one to go back and take my turns back. I'm just not. I thought it out. I did it. I did it wrong. I'm going to live with it. And unfortunately, it cost me the game. But I still really enjoyed the thought process behind it. I liked the resource track that it was a circular track. You couldn't go backwards, but you can go forward as far as you need to. But that determines the length of the game. 3 trips around, whoever completes that trip around that resource track 3 times, whichever, then that ends the game. I thought that was really interesting. But anyway, definitely need to explore this one some more. I anticipate it will go higher next year. But that is my number 52, Terminus.
Yeah, this one didn't make my list this year. It probably will with some more plays of it.
Yeah.
Where did it come in at?
I'm not sure why it came in this high. But then again, when I was doing my list, I guess my thought process was always, which one did I want to play more? You know? And this one just kept popping up.
This was 132.
Okay.
So yeah, so I think it'll come in a little bit higher with the more plays we get, because I just haven't figured it out enough to play it.
Yeah, that's good.
So my number 52 was 58 last year. We played this first time. We actually played the demo copy of it at the Dice Tower Retreat for the first time before it was ever released. Our son actually has it now, and we've got to play it with them. But this is Clank Catacombs.
No, I think that was the full.
No, it was a bit. It was the
Was it
demo,
the demo
yes.
box? Okay.
Anyway, Clank Catacombs is I think it's so much. This is my favorite Clank.
Yeah.
I do like this one because I'm not a big fan of randomness, though, but this type of randomness I like.
Yeah.
Where you're putting down a new tile as you explore different areas of this cave.
Yeah.
Everybody ends up getting back. You don't lose because you're still down in the cave. It's just a certain amount of points you get when you get back early.
Right. Or something
But you're
like
going to
that,
get down there, and there's going to be times where you just went into this room, and this room's going to turn. You can no longer go back out that way. Now you got to continue on down. Or you can get or you can get to a portal, or a portal will take you to another part of the board. It might even take you closer to it. There are ghosts, isn't there?
So
They're like imprisoned or something like that. You can release and stuff. It's just really, really interesting, I think. I think I have a lot more fun playing this than I do any of the other Clanks.
I would have to agree there. I very much enjoyed this one when we played it. We've played it a couple times now. Yeah, it's just the randomness of, well, I just walked down this pathway, but now I can't go back because the tile next to me changed.
And there are some, I believe they have arrows on them or something, where if you go in this way, you can't go back out that way because that's the wrong way. You've got to continue down because now you have to go around this corner, way back over here, and now you're at a dead end. You hope you can get a tile that gets you circled back around and back to the exit.
It was pretty interesting. I like the way it played.
Yep, I like this one.
All
This
right.
is Clink Catacombs, my number 52.
My number 51 is a crossover. I believe it was
Uh-oh.
your, if I have it written down right, it was your number 86. This is new to my list. This is one of the most recent releases from Shem Phillips from the South Tigris. Yes, South Tigris. This is Scholars. Don't look back. That's cheating.
Oh, I was just seeing if it was new to my list too. It was.
Okay.
Of course it is.
Well,
It
yeah,
just
we
came
only
out.
got to play it in March.
Yep.
Anyway.
Why are you saying cheating? I'm looking at my own list.
Oh, I thought you were looking what was number 86.
I was
Never
looking
mind.
to see what number 86 on my list was.
Cheats. Anyway.
You were going to tell me.
I was. No, I'm not going to. Nope, I'm not going to.
What could it be?
Anyway.
You already said it.
Scholars is a, oh my gosh, it's a worker placement where you are trying to translate scripts. There is a number of different translators that you are hiring throughout the game. Everybody is hiring throughout the game. Down at the bottom of the board, and those translators take something from one language to another language. And the idea is that you need to get all of these different manuscripts or transcripts from, what is it, Sanskrit to Arabic or something like that.
Arabic, yes.
And some of them may be able to go from Sanskrit to Hebrew, and I'm
You were totally
don't
just.
quote me on this. From transcript or from Sanskrit to Hebrew, and another one may be able to go from Hebrew to Islamic or Klingon. Anyway, so you want to get it done in the most, I don't want to say advantageous, that's not the right word, but in the most logical way, in the shortest possible number of people having to, the shortest number of translations, because you know the whole telephone game, you never know what you're going to end up with if you have to go through 6 people to get there. So, I don't know, I really like this one. I am looking forward to exploring this one a lot more. It's actually on our list to play here soon, actually. So,
It's
but anyway,
on the shelf.
it is on the shelf to play soon. But anyway, that is my number 51. The last one of this list for me, Scholars of the South Tigris.
All right. We don't have to listen to you now. My number 51 was 26 last year, and it probably dropped because we haven't really played much of it lately.
Okay.
This is a deck builder. I believe it's probably one of your favorite deck builders of all time.
Okay.
It's all about superheroes.
Marvel Legendary.
This is Marvel Legendary. This is all about, like I said, it's all about the Marvel Cinematic Universe almost. Not quite though, but there are expansions with the cinematic universe being used though. But you are picking a number of different Marvel heroes to go up against the villains, and you're going to pick one certain villain that you're going to use as the
bad guy. The mastermind. I was going to say, what are you talking about? The mastermind.
I was trying to feed it to her and she wouldn't take it. Anyway, so you have a mastermind out there and it has villains it's controlling, and you're going to be drafting cards. You're playing cards out of your hand to draft, to be able to use the points on them to draft cards, or to be able to battle the evildoers, as I always say now, in the city. And as you beat them, you get to keep them, and they score you points at the end of the game.
Yeah.
It is a cooperative game, but there is a point system to it that you could actually have a true winner.
Yeah.
You're all trying to work together to beat the mastermind.
Yeah.
And not lose.
Yeah. It's kind of semi-cooperative. You all have the same goal, just who can do it better.
But, I mean, you're always talking through. It's like, hey, I could really, I've got him. Let me go ahead and pick him up. Don't you buy him because I need this guy for
and
certain
it
things
is cooperative,
and
the main goal is cooperative. You've got to beat the mastermind or nobody wins.
Yeah, but there is that little side thing
what
going
we call
on with
the
the
MVP.
points. Yeah, the MVP of the game. There you go. But that is number 51, Legendary, a Marvel deck building game.
All right.
And that's going to do it.
That is going to do it for this list.
Oh, yeah, just for this list.
I mean, we can skip 50 to 1 if you really want to.
We are halfway through now.
We are. Finally. Hopefully the next couple weeks are not quite as...
So by Christmas, when we get done...
Let's hope it doesn't take that long.
Nope, we only got 50 more to go, so these 50 more are better than the last ones.
That's usually the way top 10s work. Or top
well, this
100s.
is a top 100, though. So.
Oh, my gosh. Just close it out.
Until then, we will see you at the next one.